Kia ora, Sharon Holt here again. I wanted to look at something around about the numbers in Te Reo Māori. So many people already know tahi, rua, toru, wha, rima. Pronounce them carefully because it's not tahi, rua, toru, wha, rima. Listening. Tahi, rua, toru, wha, rima. So we're role models for children hearing those numbers, so let's pronounce them correctly. Get the T correctly and the R correct. So after that, so tahi rua toru wha rima, ono, whitu, waru, iwa, te kau. So in my opinion, there's a lot more to be done with the numbers than just being able to count them. So one of the things that I did with my books is I wrote E Hea Ngā Moe, which is about how many sleeps. And it's a really interesting sentence because it's very typical of many sentences in Te Reo, that if you have a question, the answer is very often pretty much exactly like the question, but just with the answer slotted in there. This is an example. So, E hea ngā pene means how many pens. So let's say we were counting these. Tahi, rua, toru. So the answer would be, this is how many pens. E, toru, you could write it in words. E, toru, ngā pene, 3 pens. E hea ngā pene, tahi, rua. E rua ngā pene. And then once you got really used to doing that with pens, you could do it with lots of other things. You could do it with sticks, rākau. E hea ngā, and change this word to the new thing that you're counting, rākau. Perhaps you're counting, what else could you be counting? Books. E hea ngā puka puka. If you are counting things, we're just talking about things at the moment. If you are counting anything like this answer is always correct for these numbers. However, if the answer is kotahi, we don't put e before it. So you wouldn't say e tahi because e tahi means some. So that changes to kotahi, and it's not a plural, is it? One is just singular. So that goes te. E hea ngā pene. Kotahi te pene. E hea ngā pene. E rua ngā pene. So in this case, kotahi because there's only one. And as I've said here, this is only the sentence structure for 2 to 9 for the answer. If it's 10, the answer is just te kau. Going back to ngā, because ngā is plural. Te kau ngā. Pene. I haven't got 10 pens here. But it's a really good way, once you've got the numbering and the sentence structure out there, to practice your vocab. And practice the counting as well. And if you're picking up, say, 8 things, tahi, count them in te reo all the time. Tahi, rua, toru, wha, rima, ono, whitu, waru. So always do that counting because it's good practice. Children hear it, you practice it, and we're encouraging. I hear so many children counting things in early childhood centres in English, whereas they don't have to practice that. They know how to do that. They're already good at counting in English. Let's then extend to counting in other languages. In this case, Te Reo Māori. So this sentence structure is, if the answer is between 2 and 9, the answer changes to kotahi te if it's just 1, and the answer changes to te kau ngā if there are 10, and that's the same if there's more than 10. Te kau mā tahi 11, etc. So if it was 11, e hea ngā pene, if it was 11, te kau mā tahi ngā pene. And before we end this lesson, just a little reminder that we don't count people like that. We count them very similarly, but not the same. Toko here. So, toko here ngā tāne. So let's say we were saying how many men. Okay? Toko here ngā tāne. The difference was, the previous one was here. So this word is about people and this word is about things. Everything else about that sentence was the same, and then this is a thing, not a person, for air. So when you're counting people, try to remember to say toko here if you're asking toko here ngā tamariki, how many children? Toko here ngā kaiako, how many teachers? If they're people, toko. If they're not people, e. And the same rules apply. So this for toko is 2 to 9 again. So that would be for the answer, if there's 2 men, toko rua ngā tāne, if there's 2 men. If there's only 1 man, ko tahi te tāne. I pronounced that wrong, sorry. If there's only 1 man, ko tahi te tāne. If there's 10 men, te kau ngā tāne. It's the same sentence structure, but we just have to put toko whenever we have e. Try doing that with as your own practice, with teachers in the staff room to practice that. Think of ways that you might be able to use that in the classroom, in the early childhood centre, as an activity, bringing it into just context during the day, counting things. Start with only counting things and not talking about people so it doesn't get confused. And then after that's really solidified, then counting people, or the other way round. Ka kite.